Welcome back to another episode of Premier League Recap here on Deadball TV. We're recapping match week 9 in the Prem, and in this video, we got the biggest winners, losers, questions, and takeaways for all of you beautiful people watching. Make sure to drop a like on the video, especially since my team got dog walked today. Let us know your biggest takeaway down below in the comments, and if you want more Prem content here on Deadball TV, make sure you hit subscribe. We're going to start with biggest winners and losers. We'll do winners first, and I'm going to take Crystal Palace. Kind of a layup here for getting their first win of the season, 1-0 against Tottenham at Selhurst Park in a rather comfortable fashion, I must say. As someone who had the unfortunate opportunity to watch this game, it was more than deserved for Crystal Palace, who I have a soft spot for.
It was more than deserved, and it is going to be so hard to talk about this Crystal Palace as the biggest winner without going straight into my loser. So why don't I just do it?
Nobody has an attention span anymore. I'm looking at the analytics. Everything drops off after second 5 anyway. So we might as well just go,
Thank God. Then let's do it. Listen, I could not comfortably put Crystal Palace up there. I'm happy for them. I have a soft spot for Crystal Palace too. Congratulations to Crystal Palace. Frankly, I wish that I could sit here and tell you that if Crystal Palace played like this every week, week in, week out, they'd be middle of the table. They wouldn't be facing relegation. But no, it's not the truth. They are a lackluster team. The only reason that they won today was because Tottenham doubled down. Tottenham doubled down. They said, anything you can do, I can do worse. They said, bet that, check up. Give me the ball. Let's see it. I mean, I swear to you, it looked like I was watching like a child play FIFA. We even had the FIFA substitutions. There was the 3-man substitution. That's honestly one of my biggest questions, since you want to talk about not having attention spans. 2 minutes in, I'm going through my biggest loser and the questions. I want to know why it's okay to make a 3-man substitution near the end of the game, taking off Maddison and putting on Timo Werner. I said that I wanted to see Richarlison. The way that I want to see Richarlison implemented again is not by moving Dominic Solanke over to the false 9 or the right wing. I literally saw him playing everywhere that the ball wasn't. And that is the team's fault. One of those guys between Dominic Solanke and Richarlison has played right wing for Brazil at a national level. And it was the only guy that was not playing right wing.
I'm guessing it wasn't Solanke there.
No,
I haven't seen him at the Copa America, but
no,
I could be wrong. I mean, I am a casual, so maybe it was Solanke for Brazil. No, dude, it's you're right. You're right. The performance was so flat. So I was watching this and Man U at the same time, and we'll get into Man U later. And first off, both games were trash.
Disaster.
Second, I turned the commentator off for both because I wasn't hearing anything interesting. Nothing interesting was happening on the field. Spurs could not pass out of our own box. Like I haven't seen Crystal Palace. It looked like prime Hansi Flick right now at Barcelona, that high press. That's what it looked like. Except it's Crystal Palace, a team that hadn't won a game yet this season. Fun fact, dude. We still have 3 teams that have not won a game, which is kind of crazy. Ipswich, Wolves, Southampton. 0 wins combined from 27 games. That's pretty crazy. When was the last time we had this many winless teams this late in the season?
I couldn't tell you. Because we're 9 games in.
9 games in.
Can I ask you which one of those teams you think deserves to win the most? Which one of those teams you think? Wolves?
Wolves, hands down. Yeah. Southampton.
No, not Southampton.
Terrible.
It's not them.
Ipswich, I'm a little surprised they haven't gotten a dub.
Me too. Well, hey, they deserved a dub. They deserved a dub here. And then my biggest winner of the week came through and just laid a belter down. And Belmo said, no Tony, no problem. He said,
He's
Wissa,
your biggest winner?
You can come back this week. It's my time. Showtime, baby. He said, no hairline, no Wissa, no Tony, no problem. They looked shaken. And then when my boy Liam Delap came in, scored himself a goal, I thought it was done, dusted, kippers, and custard. I turned it off. I switched. I started looking around. I was getting things going with my day. I was like, well, that was an incredible game. And then, yeah, Brian Mbeumo, the man himself.
Yeah.
Laid down the wood, staked a claim, and now Brentford are getting results. We're looking like, I mean, we're kind of in prime position. They're sitting pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mbeumo's second in the Prem goals this season. So, yeah, Ivan Toney, completely expendable, completely irrelevant, honestly, in the footballing conversation globally. And Mbeumo is just, I mean, the winner, kind of a little flukish. It was a little flukish, but we'll still give it to him. He had a brace in this game. And Ipswich continue to be, for me, like super entertaining.
Yes.
Just like Wolves are very entertaining. But it ain't getting the job done, dude. It's just, I can't believe Brentford came back in this game. That was pretty shocking. So is Brentford your biggest? No, and Mbeumo's your biggest winner?
Mbeumo's my biggest winner. I understand he's got a penalty. I understand he's got a penalty there, but I'm thinking, and this plays in with something that I'm going to get into later, which is Brighton. I think that Brentford's performance this weekend is indicative of a drive and a desire to win that you need if you're going to get results in the Premier League. And we're not seeing it with a lot of the big clubs. So the fact that we're able to see it with Brentford against a pretty, I would say a staunch Ipswich team. I mean, it was only, what was it? It was their right back that did everything there. Right?
I mean, he got as staunch as a winless team can be. Sure. Yeah.
No, but they've got fire under their ass. Like if they had subbed out that right back, that is a win for them that day. Because he gave them an own goal. He gave them back-to-back yellows and a pen, right? He had the hat trick.
Clark.
He had an own goal.
Yeah.
Conceded a penalty and got 2 yellows for the red.
Yeah.
You take him off,
this is actually
wins.
One of the lowest fault mob scores I've ever seen. 3.8. Jesus.
Yeah. He has a -5 fantasy score spread.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. My point is, you've got to have drive to be able to come back from a position like that. And it's nice to see that Brentford can do it, because guess who can't do it? Tottenham, Manchester United. Who else we want to throw under the bus this weekend? Who else? Aston Villa wasn't able to get it done.
No. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Let's see. Let's look at it. Newcastle scored a goal, which I didn't expect.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
They should have lost by way more, though. Chelsea should have killed them. I thought so my actual biggest loser is Manchester United, which I'll break down in a second. I had 3 losers, and Kunku was one of my losers by himself. He was my player loser, just because I didn't want to highlight my man Harry Clark from Ipswich, although he's probably the smart bet. Yeah. I mean, how Kunku didn't at least get 2 assists in this game, him just being a selfish mofo. I mean, that's the only reason that Newcastle were even in the game late, because he just didn't want to pass. And I wonder if he's feeling the heat. I wonder if he's feeling like he's borderline replaceable in this Chelsea squad, and he's really trying to do it himself. Yeah, he is.
He is replaceable. That being said, assists. Teams need assists. Why we not playing team ball? This isn't hero ball. This is the Premier League, big dog.
Yeah. But overall, God, Newcastle just awful team to watch right now as well. I really felt
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
games today just sucked overall.
What was interesting is that when we were talking about the games this weekend, you said, "Oh my god, Sunday's games look fire." And we looked at them, we were like, "Yeah, objectively, the best games are gonna be Sunday." But no, I
Correct.
had a blast on Saturday. Saturday was great for me. Frankly, I'm
Yeah, these
pissed I
games were
missed the
awful today.
Nottingham Forest game. I wish I would have caught Nottingham Forest Leicester. Would have
Yeah.
saved me the what is it? What do they go to? 96 minutes of depression that I suffered at the hands of Tottenham Hotspur today.
Yeah, that was the wrong game to decide to watch. That was probably the worst one. Palace beating Spurs. I mean, you just knew Spurs were going to give Palace their first win. Also, we just can never do anything at Selhurst Park. Just completely predictable. Tottenham are shite. Like we're just a team just floating, playing, fast, quickie football. But god damn, we're soft. And I'm tired of talking about it. But I do want to talk about Manchester United because they're my biggest loser. And I want to have like a kind of in-depth discussion about this because I feel like the blame is misplaced a little bit with this club. So they lost 2-1 to West Ham away. The penalty that I think De Ligt ends up conceding late in the game is an embarrassment. It's never a penalty, never in 100 years, but it's called. Bowen scores. West Ham get a massive win, their third win of the season. Before this, they'd only beaten Ipswich and Palace, so the relegation favorites. This was a big win for West Ham today. These boys really needed this. And Manchester United are in 14th place after 9 games, which is insane. Absolutely insane. 1 win in the last 8 for Ten Hag in all competitions. I want to ask you this because I have an argument here, but one of my takeaways is that the problem with Manchester United is not Ten Hag, the coach. It's Ten Hag, the recruiter. Like, he is a strong case. Him and Diego Simeone are battling for the worst recruiter in world football. These guys have almost no eye for talent. This is a Prem recap, so I'm going to focus on Ten Hag. If you look at the actual stats for Manchester United, and if you watch the games, and they're dry as hell, but they're not 14th in the Prem dry as hell. You look at the stats. This team is second in the Prem in clean sheets. How are you 14th in the league and you're second in clean sheets? They're first in tackles, first in interceptions, 7th in goals conceded, 7th in expected goals. That's the first offensive stat. 2nd in the Prem. Actually, they're tied for first. Tied for first in the Prem in big chances missed. Can you guess who they're tied with for most big chances missed in the Prem?
Is it Wolves?
No, it's Tottenham. Both teams have missed 22 big chances in 9 games. Bruno Fernandes has 0 goals. Rashford has 1.
Yep.
Højlund has 1. Garnacho is your top effing goal scorer with 2. With 2. They are the most wasteful team in the Prem. I think their expected goals are 15 and they've scored 8. That is diabolically, historically bad. And so I don't think you look at how Ten Hag sets up the team. I don't think it's abysmally bad. It could probably be improved a little bit, but it's not abysmally bad. These players, some of them are trash. Like terrible. Not ever in a million years Manchester United quality.
Yeah.
Period. I feel like I'm looking at it was like Sean Dyche. Honestly, last season and this season, where it's like their expected goals was 20, but they'd only scored 5 because Dominic Calvert-Lewin was the worst striker in the division. And everyone's like, should Sean Dyche be out? What the hell is Sean Dyche supposed to do? He can't make Calvert-Lewin score. He can't make Beto score, who got the equalizer against Fulham. By the way, Everton, 0 losses in the last 5. But y'all want Sean Dyche out? Fools. Ten Hag cannot force Højlund and Rashford to stop being ass.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes has 36 shots and 0 goals this season. What is Ten Hag supposed to do about that? Now, maybe you say Ten Hag should replace him. Maybe you should say Ten Hag should replace Rashford. He should replace Højlund. That is correct. And that I completely agree with. But he should not be the one doing the purchases. Pay somebody else, get a director of football in here, and have that man make the footballing decisions. Have him make the recruiting decisions, because Ten Hag is the worst in the Prem.
Scalp a guy from Brighton. Scalp somebody from Brighton. There's no other
Hudson
option.
Odoi for $3 million.
You could no. I'm not talking about players. I'm talking about somebody to make those decisions.
You want a recruiter?
I want a recruiter. I want anybody who's got a decent idea about this. Stay away from anybody on the PSG staff, anybody who's ever been connected with them. Stay away from Atletico. Shoot, dude. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say anymore, because it's depressing. It's depressing. I mean, we haven't even gotten a pen. There's not even a pen for Man U. I literally drafted Bruno in my fantasy Premier League because I thought the man was going to be scoring nothing but pens. But no.
I don't have a pen.
Nothing.
That's crazy. 0 pens this season? Damn.
Not for Bruno.
I did not know that. Dude, I'm just looking at this team, bro. I mean, it's dead, bro. Dead. Christian Eriksen's still starting. That's a Spurs legend. I love that man. If he is your starting 8 in the Premier League, you're done, bro.
Yep.
You bro. Brentford upgraded over him 2 years ago. What are you doing, Man U? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Rashford ain't it anymore, bro. Move on.
Yeah. Rashford's not it. Look, none of them are it. Frankly, you want to know who's doing well is Garnacho, but you've got to get him some other options. You got to get him some help. I feel like the man hits the crossbar or the post every single game. And yeah, there's probably a little bit of Argentine bias there, but not that much. The man makes runs. Get him some space. He should not have to bear the burden as an U21 player. He should not have to bear the burden of the offensive production, especially not when you have guys on massive contracts like Antony, like Højlund, like freaking Bruno. Give him a break. Like Rashford, for the love of God. I don't know what the answer is, but I don't think it's Ten Hag's fault. I don't think it's Ten Hag's fault, and maybe the Glazers are going to agree that, they need a new face to come in here and try and get something else going, but somebody's got to pull themselves up from their bootstraps and score a damn goal.
Well, I think it is Ten Hag's fault, but not tactically. I don't think it's tactically his fault. I just think the man is a complete moron when it comes to identifying talent.
Yeah. That's fine, but we still there are players on this team that are capable of scoring goals, and you have a couple more wins here. If Bruno Fernandes converts, I don't know, 20% of his 36 shots, I feel like that's reasonable. Those numbers wouldn't even make it into the NBA, right? But 1 in 5,
correct.
I would take that.
But so then the culpability is back in the players. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Everybody's like Ten Hag out, Ten Hag out. I'm like, dude, your squad is terrible.
No, I'm agreeing with you here. I'm not saying, he is, the best thing since sliced bread, and I think he deserves the job. But if we're all pointing fingers and placing blame, which has never been productive and is still obviously not working, so, we can keep playing that game, but pointing the finger at Ten Hag and pointing the finger at the players has never been the answer. My humble opinion there. But yeah, dude, it just feels like a big patty cake game there. Nobody wants to accept any sort of accountability here. And so nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change until one of them finds a hot streak, and then the rest of them are going to get streaky, and we're going to see Man United go on like a 6-game streak with 4 wins, 2 draws, and everybody's going to say Man United's back, and Rashford needs a contract extension because he's got 3 goals and 6. And then towards the end of the season, they're going to peter out and they're going to end around 10th.
Are Arsenal a loser from today after drawing Liverpool 2-2? I'm tired of talking about Man U. This team's boring as hell.
No, because Liverpool is the best defense of the Premier League. So I think
you don't think their title race is over? 5 points behind City now. I don't know, dude.
It's week 9. And frankly, if you want me to get real with that question, you want a hot take, everybody's title race was already over. Nobody was ever going to win this Premier League except for Manchester City. It was over day 1. It was over day 1.
You think it's over for Liverpool being 1 point behind?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And I mean, that's just where I'm at about it. We can discuss this, and Liverpool could beat City twice, and I think City will still win the Premier League.
I don't necessarily disagree. No, I think if Liverpool took 6, they would win. But they have to take 6. That's the thing. It's like anything less than absolute perfection, you finish second.
Yep.
Or third. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Let's take a look
the
at this.
Prem is sometimes it's getting a little Mickey Mouse. We're getting a little CONCACAF over here in the Prem. I mean, y'all not ready for that conversation, but okay. Yeah, I think Arsenal, they were my second loser from this week. I mean, I'm just looking at the table, 5 points back. You're tied on points with Villa. You've only won 5 of your opening 9 games, 3 draws, 1 L already.
They're also missing Odegaard. I have a little sympathy for them there. And they're still quite a good team. You know.
Sure, but good teams don't win the Prem anymore.
No. Man City wins the
Perfect teams win the Prem. That's it. Like, not a scratch on the paint on the Beamer. Perfect. If you want to win. Otherwise, your award is you made City sweat a little bit. Congratulations. Here's your ribbon for that.
And you know what? You want to know the only difference in City and Liverpool and Arsenal's record? City has 5 wins. Liverpool has 4 wins and a draw. Arsenal has 3 wins, a loss, and their draw from today. It is literally a margin of a single game for each spot.
You're 2 weeks back, bro.
Oh,
City
yeah,
have 7. Liverpool have 7. Yeah.
Arsenal I'm looking at what do you mean?
Wins.
I'm going off of their form. Their recent form here. Their last 5 games. But that also includes 2 games that are not in the Premier League. So either way, it's a faulty sample size here. My point is that data contributes exactly to what you're saying. You have to be perfect. And 1 win, 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss is not a bad record. But it's not enough to win the Prem, like you said.
Yeah.
And it just depends on what the expectations are. I'm hesitant to call them losers because my expectations were never for them to win the Prem. I think Liverpool and Arsenal are competing for second. And yeah, I think it is what it is,
Interesting. I disagree in the sense I do think Liverpool are the only challenger left.
But that's so optimistic. Let's call it what it is.
It is. But I mean, the fact is they're 1 point behind and they could do it. Arsenal being 5 points. I mean, Villa are also 5 points if you want to give credit to the villains. But do they catch City? Like, no chance in hell. They catch
the villains?
City.
The villains are just happy to be there.
They're just happy to be there. Like, I don't know. I think with Liverpool, they're in this like insanely tough stretch of games. They beat Chelsea last week. People still didn't care. They tied Arsenal away today. I'm sure people still don't care and still don't take them seriously. They got Brighton next. I don't know if it's home or away. But if they win that, City at Bournemouth. I mean, could Bournemouth play spoiler? Maybe. They're surprisingly good this season.
They're quite.
We have a game on our hands, but outside of that, Not quite feisty. Who was your biggest loser? Did you even say that yet?
Yeah, it was Tottenham. Tottenham overall.
Oh yeah,
It was,
absolutely
and
trash.
the quote was poorest performance I've seen under Big Ange. Brutal.
Yeah, it was absolutely brutal. To switch things up a little bit, little sub question here. Looking at the table, looking at where all the teams are, we have a couple surprise, I would say, places here. Brighton in 6th and Nottingham Forest with 7th. Both teams above Spurs. Absolutely. Dude, Spurs 4 losses in the first 9. Jesus. Okay. But anyways, between Brighton and Forest, both on 16 points, which team is more likely to finish in the top 4?
So this is what I wanted to circle around back to earlier. Remember, I said Brentford. I had them as my Wemo is my biggest winner, but I really respect the result from Brentford because it takes the minerals that they put on display there in order to make genuine progress in the Premier League. I think I gotta go with Nottingham Forest for that because Brighton, I cannot and I will not take them seriously as a challenger unless they can fix their defense, man. There is just got to be something changed there. I mean, if you look at the statistics, it's really not that bad. But when you line it up with their offensive statistics, the only time that you're able to score massive amount of goals is when you're also conceding a massive amount of goals. And you're thinking, well, you're playing with a massive high line. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're going to open yourself up to get these 2 goals, but then you're going to sell the farm in the last 10 minutes of the game. Like, it's like an equation. It makes mathematical sense, but you're not going to get anywhere substantial. You're not going to get a result at the end of the year, at the end of this season, if you don't lock that up. It comes to a point where, okay, you're making massive gains in ground, but if you're just giving it back up with the counteroffensive, what are you doing? You've got just as many wins or victories as you have losses. You're ending up at a net neutral. So if you're not advancing, like lethargy and complacency is the enemy of progress. And for that, I cannot count Brighton. They remind me, dude, of the 2017 Houston Rockets under Mike D'Antoni. Or was that 2016? Either way, all offense, no defense. The second that Andre Iguodala checked in for the Warriors, cooked. Because guess what? Trevor Ariza is not going to make all of his threes. James Harden, not going to make all of his threes in the playoffs. Chris Paul gets injured. Your one defensive guy's out. Boom. Game 6, 7, done. There goes our lead. Goodbye, Rockets. Warriors champions once again.
I think the Cavs won that season. I'll have to check. But yeah, no, your point still stands.
They won 18, right?
No, 16.
Or
17.
16. 16, 17?
Yeah. 16, 17.
Who would have got that ass?
I see your point. Yeah, man. I'm going to take Forest as well, just because Brighton, I just don't trust these guys at all. Like, I know they're a gunslinging team, but good God, they're just they're so hot and cold. Forest are just like a steady ship. It's like, it's never super exciting. It's never super nerve-wracking. They just get it done. They win 1-0. Chris Wood's inevitable, and they move on.
Perfect.
Brighton, it's like
perfect.
They don't know how they want a ball. I watch these dudes and I'm like, you know what's weird when Brighton's like best player changes like week over week? It's like Mitoma, then it's Welbeck, then it's this new dude. What's his goddamn name? It begins with an R. He got the assist to Welbeck today. Ruder. I almost said Rudiger. Ruder. I mean, it's just Kadioglu's going from right back to right mid. I just don't know. I feel like there's too much experimentation. Also, their coaches had less time with the team.
Yeah.
Defensively, I mean, anytime you're playing like super aggressive like that and you got, Van Hecke and Lewis Dunk in the back, you just might get dunked on, no pun intended. So I don't know. I would say Forest. Now, do I think either team actually finishes top 4? No, I don't,
No, no,
because
no.
that means Villa or Chelsea fall off. Do you think Forest and Brighton finish above Spurs, Man U, West Ham this season? I don't
I
know
think
why I
they
threw West Ham in there. They trash, but yeah.
I think they finish above, well, yeah, West Ham and Man U. I don't know about Spurs, because here's the thing about Spurs. They have the capability of putting on good performances. They honestly remind me of Brighton in a lot of ways, in that they can give you these really spectacular performances and they can beat anybody. And I bet you right now they'll take 3 points off of City this year. That's what they do. City will never be invincible because Spurs will always inevitably put on their best performance of the season against us and take away 3 points. It will just always happen. So I'm hesitant to completely sell the farm on Big Ange and the boys. I'm just really disappointed today. Really disappointed today.
Yeah, I think our depth is getting exposed, and a bunch of these like young kids with a bunch of hype, they're just simply not ready. Which
No, not at all.
Spurs buying a young prospect who's super hyped and then he doesn't turn into anything. I mean, I've been watching that movie for 12 years. Like, it's just, every time it's like, oh, the new young kid from the Swedish league. I'm like, stop.
Let's see what happens. He's 17 years old. He's a force. He's going to captain England. No.
Yeah.
Relax.
Oh, he's got 7 goals for the Irish U20. I don't give a shit. I do not care.
I don't give
He
a damn.
will not make it. I promise you.
Yeah.
And it's not even the kid's fault. It's probably Spurs' fault.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to say, because this is very surprising to me. Do Newcastle United deserve more hate for being in 12th right now?
Everybody is very, very calm about that. And I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Is it because Botman's hurt? So is that the excuse for like every single result?
I don't know. Everybody also was, talking about how, oh my God, what's my man's name? Trips was, the greatest thing
Trips went
since
down
sliced
recently.
bread. But where's he at this year? Is it just because he's old? Everybody's selling on him? I was saying he was old last year, and everybody was like, "You're totally wrong." But now he's old. I don't understand.
They
I
don't
need
know
more
how to
evidence.
feel
I
about
don't know.
Trips.
No, and I don't know either. Frankly, I'm so lost in the weeds with Newcastle United. Everybody was wearing the turbans whenever they got bought out, and everybody was like, "The game's gone." Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. I mean, they got Harvey
You
Barnes
think they just don't
starting
have
at
enough
left
time?
wing. I
Yeah.
guess.
How
I
much
don't
they buy
know.
him
I
for
don't
though?
know
Like
what's going on there.
45 mil, right? It was an
No.
expensive buy.
I'm just saying that Harvey Barnes is posted up there. They're like working squad rotation instead of dipping into the consumer pool. Like I don't know. Everybody
Yeah.
thought these were going to be like, the new stormtroopers. I thought these were going to be public enemy number 1. But lo and behold, I mean, the tiger ain't got no teeth. I'm just
I think the
wondering what's
main reason
going
for
on
that
here.
is I think it's the financial fair play. That's what I've been reading. It's like it's really kicking their ass.
Okay.
Oh, stop, Mr. City.
No, that's
Not
what I'm
everybody got
saying.
to spend a bill before this law was passed.
Only like 5 of the top 6 clubs. I guess my confusion there, I'm not
Look at
exempting
the
City from that.
investigations.
I'm saying that everybody's culpable, and that's I voiced it when I was doing the birthday Q&A. I think that's where the league is headed. That's where it's going. The Super League, like you said, it's already here. We have it. Let's stop with the foreplay. Let's stop, pussyfooting around. Let it be what it is. It is what it is. We're saying that the
In that
Premier League
respect,
is
I
Mickey
completely
Mouse
agree.
here. So, like, I'm confused because I thought Newcastle was going to have, Osimhen, Mbappe. I thought that Paul Pogba was going to come back in black and white over here. You know, I don't know. I'm confused because I don't know what's happening here, and that rubs me the wrong way. It's like a mystery, but not a fun one. You know, I'm like, instead of being the bad guys or the good guys, you guys are just shite, and nothing's happening. So I don't know. Either get Almiron out of there or do something. I don't know. But they're just kind of rolling over and taking it. And I don't know when Eddie Howe's going to lose his job. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, no, you're completely right in the sense that I don't know all the details of financial fair play, but you look at some guys on this roster. I mean, how Almiron is still there, how Jacob Murphy is still there, Garang Cool, who's like a Australian U23 player, is getting like rotational minutes now for Newcastle. I mean, it's crazy. Again, I don't know all the info, but I'm like, okay, I don't doubt that they're under a serious, a financial microscope. Like, I don't doubt the Premier League is like, you're going to give me every single receipt for every single subscription you ever had. But at the same time, you still have Matt Target in the goddamn squad. Like, is there really so little money that you guys haven't been able to replace him? Also, Tonali's back this season. So where's his impact been?
It's non-existent.
I thought he was one of the best. I thought he was one of the best midfielders in Italy.
Nope. He also
doesn't have a contribution. It's 7 games.
The entire right side of the field, Almiron, Tonali, and Livramento, not a single contribution there. Isak was supposed to be one of the best players in Fantasy Prem this season. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist.
Does he have 1 goal, 1 assist? Oh, he got a second today. He got a second goal today.
That was his second goal today?
Yeah, he got a second goal today. Yeah. And I wonder if that's because the midfield behind him is doing F all.
Yeah, potentially. Guimaraes only has 1 assist. Joe Linton's got 1 goal. I mean, I don't know, dude. These are wild numbers here. This is dog water. My boy Harvey Barnes, your top scorer with 3 goals, 1 assist. I've been saying he was good since last season, so I'm happy about that. I like Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, but
I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. I don't understand.
It's Manchester United-esque, really. You look at it. It's
feeling very suspect. I'm just saying that there's no way that Brighton and Nottingham Forest are, doing this kind of business, and you've got Saudi money and nothing's happening. So then what's the point? What's the point of that influx of cash? Why would you sell the club?
Do you think it's because Eddie Howe, he's like the kid who went from the Bija to like the presidency? Does he just not know how to handle resources and expectations like that? Not that he couldn't learn how to, but the man came from Bournemouth, and I don't even remember where he was before that. Like, Bournemouth ain't splashing cash, especially not 8 years ago when he was there. So do you think it's a case of he's like, I don't know what to do now that I'm holding the purse strings?
No, because every manager's got a big player that they want to bring in. I'm sure that if Eddie Howe had his way, Jared Bowen would be playing there, right?
He'd have an all-English starting 11 probably if he had his way.
Probably, yeah. It'd be very Sean Dyche-esque,
Yeah, he would. Yeah, his first 3 moves with
Dwight
unlimited
McNeil
budget would be Thank you for saying that. Dwight McNeil, Jared Bowen, Lewis Dunk. Those would be his first 3 buys.
And they'd be a great team. They'd be a phenomenal team. Yeah. Correct. I don't know. There's something going on behind that one-way mirror that we are just not privy to, my man. And I don't know what it is. Any Newcastle fans out there, drop it down below, because I'm ready to do some reading. I'm interested in this. Because ain't no way some of these, like, no shot Fulham's on a run and you guys aren't. Like, what's going on here? You're telling me that Raul Jimenez had a traumatic brain injury and he was out for what? I mean, he was non-existent for like 4 years. Newcastle got bought out by the wealthiest footballing conglomerate or wealthiest footballing, presence or the wealthiest presence in football. And we haven't even made $100 million purchase. I'm not saying that that's what needs to happen, but make 320s. I don't know. Pick up an Ecuadorian. Where's Endrick? Endrick should be wearing black and white.
For real. It's like, dude, these teams, the recruitment is so terrible. Like, just across the board. I mean, look at the J League. There's no way there's not 3 Japanese players right now that probably would not help Newcastle United significantly. I'm looking at Fulham's 11. Outside of their midfield, dude, they just got better players than Newcastle, like straight up. I mean, Andres Pereira, criminally underrated. But you got Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton in the midfield. Like, what is going on, dude? And Tonali, who was supposed to be the next great Italian midfielder. And I get it, he probably needs some time to get up to speed. But it's like, I don't know. And I think that's where Marco Silva as a manager has done a really, really good job to make Fulham like smack dab 10th best team in the Prem.
They are smack dab 10th best team in the Prem. They're right there.
Dude, he's got Alex Iwobi as the starting left wing. Like, that dude looked finished at Everton.
And here we go.
Adama Traore is getting loaned out to Barcelona. They were saying he's trash. He's the starting right winger. Raul Jimenez almost died. He's the starting striker. Like, Marco Silva is turning water into wine here. And Eddie Howe, who I like and I respect. And I know Newcastle have had way worse injuries than Fulham. And very unfortunate in that sense. But you're also fair to demand more from Eddie Howe and from the board and from the players, the recruitment, everything. It's been a disappointing season. And if anybody cared about Newcastle, if they weren't like a niche fan base within England, they'd be getting smoked in the media. For how they look right now.
And it would
anything
be
else you want to end the episode with? And it would be served.
No, it was just a weird Prem week. Weird week in the Prem. Looking forward to seeing more and drop your opinions down below. Anything that we're missing, anything that's not on the radar, let us know. I want to learn. I want to learn because I hate not having an answer. I hate not having a take about Newcastle. It pisses me off.
Well, dude, I mean, in our defense, I try to watch them and it's just bad, man. It's just a really bad watch.
Isak's goal today was good.
Really
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, but sitting down and dedicating 90 minutes of my life to watch this Newcastle team is just not.
It won't happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. It won't happen. I won't do it.
I ain't gonna do it. So
yeah.
So Newcastle fans, let us know down below in the comments. Sorry for the somber mood, but Spurs got cooked, and it kind of felt like the league feels like it got won today. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's October 27th,
and it's done. I do think I just heard Josh screaming. I think the Browns won today. So
thank God. One thing went my way.
Somebody did something.
God. Oh, Jesus. Well, I'm about to go watch Real Sociedad. So if Kubo doesn't score a goal, then it's just going to be the icing on the sad cake that I'm eating right now. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Regardless, if you did, make sure you drop a like. We'll be back here again for a Premier League recap next week. Hit subscribe for more Prem content. Let us know your biggest takeaway down below in the comments. We appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one.